Creamy, sweet, decadent, just like grandma's pudding. Wait, hold on a second.
Hello?
Hey, Momo. I just had one question. Did you ever make pudding for us?
Probably the only kind of pudding I ever made for you was the kind that comes in a box from Jell-O or something. And it probably isn't high protein. It's probably high sugar.
Yeah, because you're sweet, right?
Yeah.
Only it doesn't taste like it's high protein. All natural, unflavored whey protein concentrate is what I prefer to use. It's mostly protein and not loaded with any additional crap. I've linked this particular product in the description below, but use whatever you've got. Pulling the other half of the weight in protein is plain non-fat Greek yogurt. These two ingredients form the body of the two puddings I eat almost every day. And for both recipes, I start with the same whey yogurt base, 3/4 cup or 170 grams of yogurt, and 1 scoop about 25 grams of whey protein powder. And while you can eat the stuff as is, there are two ways that I love to flavor this. For a rich chocolate bite, I use Dutch processed cocoa powder. Yes, you can use the regular stuff just the same, but not only does the Dutch kind make for a darker, more appetizing color, the flavor is a bit darker too. About 1.5 tablespoons or 8 grams is right for me, but use as much or as little as you prefer. And mix. At first it looks a little lumpy from the whey, but you'll soon see how that works itself out. Next I add about 3/4 tablespoon or 15 grams of honey to sweeten the pudding, as well as an optional splash or two of vanilla extract. And mix, 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 until I have a very velvety, smooth chocolate pudding. But wait, it gets better. I like to throw this stuff in the fridge for 10 or so minutes to chill and firm up a bit overnight, and the chocolate pudding is looking and tasting more like chocolate mousse. You'll see what I mean in a bit. Let's move on to the second flavor, which lately has been my favorite. First, I'll start with a pudding base, the same 3/4 cups or 170 grams of Greek yogurt and 1 scoop or 25 grams of whey protein powder, and mix. Don't worry if it looks very lumpy like this. In time, this pudding will be just as smooth as the last. I add the same amount of honey to this one as I did the last, again about 15 grams, and a final crucial ingredient that is far from optional this time. Vanilla extract, about 1/2 teaspoon or 2 grams. Mix, 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 and I've got smooth and creamy vanilla pudding. Note that this stuff isn't as thick as the chocolate pudding, mainly because of the additional moisture content and lack of cocoa powder. Nonetheless, some time in the fridge will help to firm things up a bit and also boost the vanilla flavor. Of course, this video would not be complete if I didn't show you how I meal prep this daily snack of mine. It's actually really simple, and I often switch between chocolate and vanilla from week to week. Only a large bowl and spoon are needed, but a whisk and spatula make this 10 times easier. I'm just multiplying the amounts of every ingredient by 5. That's me doing the math right there, but don't worry, you don't have to. As always, all recipes and macros are in the description below. Again, starting with the base, I add in my yogurt, about 3 3/4 cups or 750 grams, 5 scoops or 125 grams of whey, and 7.5 tablespoons or 40 grams of cocoa powder. And a whisk, whisk, freaky wrist until it's had enough. Then the honey, about 3 3/4 tablespoons or 75 grams, and about 1.5 teaspoons or roughly 5 grams of vanilla extract. And mix until the compulsion to start scooping it into my mouth with my bare hands becomes too overwhelming. And instead, I scoop the pudding into meal prep containers. If I did my math right, that's about 219 grams of chocolate pudding per container, but I don't care if it's precise. Thinking I should have used smaller containers for this. Normally I double what I'm packing here. And into the fridge, my puddings will go. As for the ones from before, spending some time in the fridge helped them to thicken up a bit. Just in time for me to have a snack. Or two.